Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to ask question number 98 of 2017 under my name to the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister for Itoke Affairs, Sugar Industry and Foreign Affairs. And the Prime Minister informed the House if the 2013 Constitution will be reviewed by Parliament.
Thank you, and I give the floor to the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister for Itoke Affairs, Sugar Industry and Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I read in the dailies this morning that Honourable Bultavo has been going around the country, and this is one of the questions that's been asked to do with the review of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, once again, this question by the Honourable Member, who I understand is a lawyer, shows that he has not read the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. If he had done so, he would have answered to the public that has been questioning him when he's doing his rounds. I can't imagine the lies he's going to come up with in the next election. Furthermore, Madam Speaker, this is a question that should be directed to the Attorney General, as it is a legal question to do with the Constitution. They can say that it was passed by the Business Committee, but we are tired, Madam Speaker, of correcting them in the Business Committee. Simply put, Madam Speaker, there is no review process under the Constitution. What the Constitution provides for is the process for amendments to be made to the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary, Honourable Karvaki.
Madam Speaker, I'm holding this Constitution, and I refer to the preamble of the Constitution. One of the main principles over there declare our commitment to justice, national sovereignty, security, social and economic well-being, and safeguarding our environment. The Honourable Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, needs to build this nation on the principle of justice. And if we look into the Constitution, we see 27 and 28, they even contradict each other. So the very reason why there must be a review, I ask again, the Honourable Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, would you consider on the principles of justice to bring this Constitution into Parliament to be reviewed? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Honourable Prime Minister.
I've already answered to that question, Madam Speaker, that there is no review process under the Constitution. What the Constitution provides for is a process for amendments to be made to the Constitution. Very simple.
This is imposed.
Thank you. Honourable Noikula.
Too many problems with this Constitution. Not counting the fact that they burn it. They burn the real one. They remove from that. They burn the real one.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order. Point of order.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Member has made an accusation that we burn the Constitution. If he has proof of that, then bring it to this House. Madam Speaker?
Thank you. I ask the Honourable Member to withdraw that statement.
With evidence, I can't withdraw it. There's evidence everywhere. But I do. I do.
You what?
But let me just tell I withdraw it. Let me tell the other flaws. That apart. They removed, especially from this Constitution, references to the rights of indigenous people. Section 185. Very specific. And that being the case, accepting that there's no mechanism for review, it does not stop you to establish an independent commission to look at it. Will you do that, please?
Madam Speaker, you should read the preamble to the Constitution. This Constitution, better than any Constitution, looks after the rights of the indigenous population. Better than any Constitution. Madam Speaker, this Constitution, better than any Constitution, looks after the rights of the indigenous population. You see, there was a statement put out by the church, Methodist Church, on Saturday or Friday. That is a campaign material by Sodelpa. That is a campaign material by Sodelpa. They're talking about racial discrimination. They don't understand what they're talking about. Just like Mulitabo doesn't understand the Constitution. He doesn't understand the Constitution.
You don't understand.
The United Nations racial discrimination is targeted towards the population, the indigenous population that have no land, that have been victimized by the country. The indigenous population of this land own 92% of this land. We have not... Sit down. Sit down.
Give it to us.
So you can abuse the money? Is that what you're saying? We had funds for Schedule A and Schedule B, Madam Speaker, that belongs to the landowners of this nation. Guess who misspent it? Guess who abused it? It's right here. So, I'm
Point of order.
Thank you. Point of order.
I asked that he withdraw it. That's not correct. You don't come here and make wild accusations. You must come here with evidence, and I'm quoting what the Honorable Prime Minister said. Can he be asked to withdraw that, please?
Thank you. I take it that
Madam Speaker, I will not withdraw it because it's a fact. Schedule A and Schedule B funds was abused.
And I will not withdraw the fact that you burned the Constitution.
Thank you. Sorry.
You already done that, so sit down.
You have withdrawn that. And this particular issue has been mentioned so many times before in
Exactly.
and it's being mentioned again now.
Thank you.
Therefore,
Madam Speaker, I have not finished my...
Prime Minister, continue.
I mentioned about the church coming up with a statement on United Nations racial discrimination. They don't understand what they're talking about. It's because they are campaign mouth for Sodelpa. And it's a sad fact. This is a sad fact. The United Nations racial discrimination bit was to look after the indigenous population who have been victimized. We have not been victimized in this land. I don't feel victimized in this land. But the opposition comes up with all these arguments to justify the lies that they've been telling the public. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Bolitamu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Basically, Madam Speaker, this particular constitution was just an enabling constitution to allow for the 2014 constitution election, Madam. And the Honorable Prime Minister said that there is no review process in this particular constitution. Madam, the 1990 constitution went through the same way and went through parliamentary scrutiny and review. My question to the Honorable Prime Minister, does he have the political will, Madam Speaker, to allow this? Because this constitution was decreed to come through, the amendments to come through this House through a bill, so people can participate, so that the people consent to this. At the moment, Madam, people did not agree to this. It was imposed on them. Does the Prime Minister have the political will to do this?
Thank you. To justify your question, you refer to the 1990 Constitution, which no longer exists. The question as it stands is referring to the 2013 Constitution and its relevance review. Thank you. And therefore, your question is out of order and the
Point of order, Mr.
Prime Minister.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Madam, I gave a comparison in regards to a constitution that didn't have any review provision, but that could be done here. The question is whether the Prime Minister has a political will to do this. That's just a simple question.
Thank you. That is a question of political will. Point of order process is really on the rules and procedures of the House, and that is not against the rules and procedures of the House. Therefore, it is out of order. I now give the floor to the Honorable Ngabo.
Madam Speaker, if the other side of the House say that it's a wonderful, the greatest constitution, why are you afraid to take it to the people to give it their consent? Why? If it's so great, why don't you go take it to the people to give their consent? It's obviously not a great constitution. Thank you. Can you answer that, please?
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I'll answer that simply, very simple. I'll answer Bulitabo's question. I don't have the political will to do anything I don't want to. That's one. And for Honorable Ngavoka, the people at large has given their consent here. 32 of us sitting here.
Thank you, Honorable Rondo. Last supplementary question.
Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Prime Minister, for saying that this is the best constitution according to you, sir. If I may quote 147, Part 6, in regards to the salaries of the Permanent Secretary, which says that it cannot be reviewed downwards, and Permanent Secretary are sitting on almost 180 to 200,000. Can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm to this House, since the Constitution is saying that you cannot review that salary downwards, can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm to this House to make it a fair and just Constitution, review the salaries of the civil service to bring them up to par with the Permanent Secretary's salary? Otherwise, Madam Speaker, it is unfair. It is an unfair Constitution.
Thank you.
Because it's got salary discrimination.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I'll answer that question very simply. She doesn't understand what she's talking about. We're talking about the review of the Constitution. And I've said that there's no review process. Please, get her to understand this, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.